Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read through Parsha's Pinchas. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there's so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world, but I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. We all know the story. Pinchas, in an act of zealotry, he saw that one of the leaders of the Jewish people, Zimri, who was the head of the tribe of Shimon, was committing this terrible act of sexual immorality with a woman named Cosbi. And it was being done publicly. And he went in this act of zealotry because he knew it was the right thing to do, and he killed both of them with his spear. He killed Zimri and he killed Cosbi. But it's interesting to note that the pasuk, this is in Bamidbar chapter 25, verse 15, it points out that Cosbi was the daughter of Tsur. Cosbi bas Tsur, it says, Rosh Umos Beis Av Midyanhu. He was the head of a people, of a chief in the house of Midian. The question is why? Why was it important to talk about her lineage? You know, she was a Midianite woman. Why was it important to know that she came from royalty, that she came from the chief in the house, the chief house in Midian? Why was that important to know? So the great Sfas Emes says something beautiful. He says that this is to highlight how great Pinchas was. He wasn't just willing to bring down anyone. When it came to the truth, when it came to fighting for what he knew what was right, he was willing to even bring down, in this case, kill a woman who came from royalty, from royal lineage. You know, he knew that was the right thing to do. It wasn't only that Zimri came from, Zimri was royalty, he was the head of the house of Shimon, the tribe of Shimon, but even Cosbi, who was foreign royalty, he knew still that this act of zealotry was the right thing to do, and he was willing to then kill her because he knew that that was the right thing to do. And of course, we know it was the right thing. You know, God rewarded him with the blessing of peace. You know, because through this act of zealotry, he would one day be creating a greater peace in the Jewish people. So that's a powerful act of zealotry. You know, sometimes it's easy to say the truth when there aren't any possible consequences. But sometimes when it's bringing down someone that's very powerful, it becomes much harder to tell the truth. You know, unfortunately, we live in a world where sometimes powerful leaders are doing things that are sometimes really evil or really disturbing, engaging in really bad behavior. Sometimes it's abuse, sometimes it's fraud, whatever it might be. And very often people around them, instead of speaking out the truth, they actually go and protect the person because they're too worried of the consequences. They're too worried to bring down a powerful person. But that's not what Pinchas teaches us. Pinchas teaches us that when it comes to the truth, you have to be willing to speak it out. You have to be willing to have the truth be heard, do the right thing, even if it means bringing down powerful people. You know, in Congress today, in the Senate and Congress, there's two people that we both know are very outspokenly pro-Israel. And I'm talking about John Fetterman, the senator, and the Congressman Richie Torres. And they're both in a party that unfortunately has some leaders that are outspokenly anti-Israel. And yet, those two people are willing to go against those other people, those other prominent leaders in their own party, and say, no, Israel is right. We're willing to fight for the truth. We're willing to do what's right. We're willing to say what's right. You know, in life, we're all going to be sometimes tested with opportunities and times to speak out the truth or not to speak out the truth. And sometimes it'll be hard. We're going to be worried about consequences. I give everyone a bracha, a blessing. Have the courage to be able to say the truth. Have the courage to sometimes do what's right and say what's right and act on what's right, even if it means bringing down powerful people, even if there might be some consequences to it. And with that, you will truly get the blessing of peace. I want to wish everyone here a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh. Thank you so much.